Taruga. Kapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Taruga. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. False good, important things are needed to be.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's gonna be under one roof. You're gonna run it like a business. That means you're gonna make a profit.
Look, these 3 words written larger than the rest.
A special pride never written before or since. Tall word, proudly saying, we the people.
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Cupla, and welcome to Bed Life for Monday, January 30th, 2023. And a big thank you to John Araki, who started the stream even well before we started the stream with a $1 super chat. Thank you, John Araki.
Captain's log, stardate 7414.1. Our best
as you
estimates
can
place
see,
us some 4 hours
unfortunately,
from Earth.
it was not kissing Dax, but it is appreciated nonetheless. And John Araki, who showing me as the first person in the stream, says deuce, suggesting that there was somebody before him, but if they did, YouTube got rid of them. So I don't know who it was. Usually it's not Ryan Johnson, so maybe that's who it was. But lost to time, unfortunately. John Araki first that I see in the chat. Antiderivative Jill is here and says, oh no, a Star Trek Picard Season 3 trailer. I don't know why I agreed to podcast about the show with Scotty, R37. It's like a dark looming cloud of death is now surrounding me. Don't worry, Antiderivative Jill. There will be plenty to pick apart, I am sure, in Picard Season 3. And if, by some chance, it's good, then, all the better. All the better. No one here is going to be happy to watch a shitty Picard. I am sure of it. I certainly won't be. I would much prefer to watch Picard Season 3 and say, oh my God, I was wrong. Finally, lightning has struck twice. Finally, whatever, I got lucky, or however I'm going to put it. Like, this is the Star Trek I've wanted for 20 years. And it's here, and I couldn't be happier. I wish, I hope, beyond hope, that is how I review every episode. Now, after year after year after year, 5 years in now of more or less the same garbage. And the first, now we're two seasons of Picard have come and gone. And for season 1, episode 1, I thought it was great. Season 2, episode 1, I thought it was great. But then by the end of both seasons, it was clear that we were dealing with terrible writing, terrible storytelling, and just not stories that were in any way, shape, or form Star Trek in any recognizable form of Trek that I had ever seen. Yes, I'm cynical now. I'm going to look at the first episode, and even if it seems good, I'm not going to yell, it's great, because I know better. I know better. Okay? If the first episode is great, I will be cautiously optimistic, but I'm not going to be yelling, it's time to forgive and run, because I did that in the second season. And you know what I got for it? I got burned. I got burned by nonsense, like complete garbage nonsense writing. And yeah, it's easy to pick on little things, and like when we go back to Discovery and I pick on the fact that Michael Burnham was aiming the phaser backwards back in like the second or third episode. And I go back to Discovery and I pick on, all the mistakes in continuity. Those are mistakes you can pick in any given episode. But the reality is, Star Trek was never really great about continuity. Sure, it was better than it is now. But you can go back to any season of TNG or DS9 or even TOS and find, quite a few things that disagree with continuity from previous seasons of previous shows. And in TOS, just previous episodes. It's not perfect. I would say the continuity isn't even great. But we give a pass because the story writing was good. And that's the complete opposite of New Trek, and we all know it. We all know it. And yes, when people who defend New Trek say, well, you say this, blah, 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 but I can go back to TNG, and they said, well, the Klingons were part of Starfleet, and then, an episode later, the Klingons weren't part of Starfleet, and they're right. They're right. You can do that. Okay? But the fact is that a TNG episode still was about a utopian future. It was still about a future I wanted to be a part of. And the best episodes of Picard and Discovery don't portray that. Okay? It's a dystopian future. I don't want to be part of the world that Picard is in. I don't want to be part of a world where people can be beaming into my apartment without me ever noticing, where Starfleet or Romulans have technology. They can come to my apartment while I'm not even there and wave a magic wand and see everything that happened in my apartment, from who I was in bed with to what I was doing in the bathroom. And there be no alarms or sensors or anything like that. That people can be abducted from their homes and nobody cares. I don't want to be in that future. And LDG at hashtag #FreeTheNet with a $5 super chat says, holy crap, the quartering finally found the balls to delete a tweet. Apparently the quartering has been banned from Twitter until he deleted. He was being held captive, basically, saying you have to delete this tweet before you can post again. And he had been holding off on deleting the tweet because he felt like doing so was admitting to some type of fault. And frankly, I kind of agreed with him, but LDG is saying that he's deleted the tweet. I have not seen it. I'm going here on LDG's news as if it's true. So if it is, there you go. I don't know for sure. Would urge people, if you care, to verify what's going on, because it is not something I really keeping up with. It's just something I hear people talk about, and that's where I get my info from. Professor Brainy Speck says, what is this? Say it ain't so. It's another late start for Birdo Prey 5. No, I didn't start late, Professor. Anti-Derivative Jill says, I swear I wrote that previous comment before watching the trailer that there's darkness and all-consuming darkness. Get ready for another 10-hour slog of non-Star Trek movie with Trek actors. Yeah, okay, so you wrote that before you saw the trailer. Well, that was a good guess. A good guess then, Jill. Captain Fandom Nerd says hello to Jill. Not Ryan Johnson says hello and Kapla. Hail, Karoga. And he says, Birdo Prey 5 is late and he cheats. And Professor Brainy Specs says, absolutely. Thank you, Professor. Who rigged the game this Saturday on Jeopardy. I only won once. Record-breaking win, by the way. Record-breaking win. Granted, the record was the lowest winning score, but regardless, it's still a record breaker. Captain Fandom Nerd says, according to the Krogan Department of Information, Birdo Prey 5 never cheats and is on time, and that is valid. That is valid. Certainly, I don't cheat at multiplayer games, and I don't think you can cheat at a single-player game. That's really not cheating. You can't cheat yourself. It's just called, I don't know, adjusting the parameters of a single-player game. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, Brother Warrior, Birdo Prey 5, and all should hail Karoga. Thank you, Jedi Bill. Kapla to you as well. Professor Brainy Speck says, the Krogan Department of Information is always late and also lies, so I don't put any stock in what they say. Professor, listen, you can say what you want about me, but the Krogan Department of Information, they deserve better. Especially since the Krogan library system answers to the Krogan Department of Information. Moxley fan says hello to you all. Kapla, Moxley. Mike Richards says greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. And Moxley says, Kapla Bird, hope you and the family are doing well today. Thank you, Moxley. It's been a long road. Moxley says, I can't stay. I'll be back a bit later. Understood, Moxley. Not Ryan Johnson says, Captain Phantom Nerd, of course that is what the Krogan Department of Information would say. To say otherwise would lead to their immediate strange disappearance and replacement. Can't confirm or deny that. Miss Londell's Groovy Movie says, Kapla, Kapla, Miss Londell. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Thank you, and hello, 47 Yorktown. Yvette says, good evening, Bird, and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. LDG at Free the Net Waves. and says Picard season 3 trailer was a pile, all right. John DeMarco says greetings, all greetings. John put up a video today on all the warp core breaches over all the various seasons of good Trek. That would be TOS through TNG, DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise. Professor Brainy Specs says greetings to John, who says hello back. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says Kapla, all Kapla Gorilla. Gorilla's been putting up quite a few shorts lately. I've been checking them out. Oh, Gorilla accidentally used his cat shampoo. But his hair, it looked pretty good. He said never felt better. Never felt better using the cat shampoo. Never happened to me, but I guess there could be worse things. The Random Menace is greetings from the future. Greetings, Random Menace. John DeMarco says, I always hope for the best. Experience, unfortunately, has taught me to expect the worst. Yeah. Mike Richards says, well, lightning is the traditional method for reviving a corpse. This is true. And Miss Londell says, dude, I've been cynical since season 1, episode 1 of the Mikey Spock show. Yes. AKA Star Trek Discovery. Yitza Lemon says, how dare you be cynical? You should go to each situation like a retarded child, as if it was the very first time, totally not heavy on sarcasm. The Professor Brainy Specs says Yitza is always playing devil's advocate. Random Menace says if Picard season 3 is not good, we still have Strange New World. I know you love Strange New Worlds, Random Menace. John DeMarco says that's unfortunately true. Professor Brainy Specs says Random Menace, oh my god, you just love pushing the buttons. Yeah, Yitza says nothing's devil advocate about that. And the Random Menace says, Professor, I am like that. Yitza Lemon says, love pushing buttons. Stop talking about your glorious sex life, Yosef. Runs away crying. There was somebody on Twitter today. I don't know who they were, but they posted on Twitter, when was the last time you had sex? And of course, hundreds of people were answering. So I did too. And I started thinking I had to go back. I had to go back to not only the first term, but the first few months of the Obama administration. I don't know if anyone else who actually answered, other than actual, like, you know, still 17-year-old virgins, beat me. Anyway. John DeMarco says the continuity errors are frustrating, but the fundamental problem with most of New Trek is that it's no longer optimistic and hopeful. Absolutely. And I think I basically said the same thing. You know, it's easy to make fun of or bring up a continuity issue. It's easy to bring up, you know, oh, how do you have 7 lights that instantly, you know, all show when the speed of light is a fixed amount, and, you know, you wouldn't see 7 lights at the same time. And if you saw the 7 lights, how do you not know where the lights are? That's easy, but it really doesn't mean that the story is going to be bad. It's a lot harder to, it takes 20 minutes to point out all the flaws in a story, where it takes 20 seconds to point out the stupidity of 7 simultaneous lights across the galaxy. So it doesn't mean that the show isn't bad. It's just, it's easier to show why it's bad when you attack, smaller parts like science, rather than to talk about an entire script and how it screws with everything you knew about, the Star Trek universe. The Random Menace says to Yitza, I have a contract for one sort of ice cream. You are free on those contracts, and you can taste the whole spectrum. Nitpicking Nerds as the female villain looks cartoonish and silly, and she seems to be the main villain. Yes, Amanda Plummer. Amanda Plummer, daughter of Christopher Plummer. I just don't get it. We'll go through it a little later. There's some speculation that she might be one of the conspiracy parasite aliens, the ones that, their tail sticks out behind their neck and you eat a bowl of what are those things? Larva, what flies are before they become flies. That's nasty stuff. The aliens from Conspiracy, where Riker had to go down and eat the stuff, and I mean, if they're going back to those guys, Jesus Christ, it doesn't make any sense. Miss Londell's Groovy Movie says, I remember we've seen one of the trailers and tore it to shreds on a live stream. Did anyone think it was going to get magically better? I hoped. Nitpicking Nerds, as I suspect Moriarty will just have one scene. Maybe he is needed to help defeat Lore. Shouldn't be pissed off that Picard got himself a synthetic body while leaving him to rot in a simulation again. Yeah, I also believe that Moriarty will just be a single scene, or maybe 2 scenes, like at the very beginning and at the very end. There's all sorts of problems with bringing Moriarty back to life or out of the simulation. Maybe maybe he's actually saying, "Oh, I owe this to a friend," and he gets Moriarty a body, and he uploads Moriarty to a body, which would be another problem, because then where's the body for his wife, and then how do you get this guy to forgive you for making the last 30 years of his life? You say, oh, it was all fake, but now we can really bring you out. Well, how is he ever going to trust that this real world is the real world? It doesn't make any sense to do that. It just, honestly, the best thing they should have ever done was, once they had him in that computer, would be to beam that computer into the sun and destroy it. There's no reason he should have been kept alive. It was only a disaster waiting to happen. Also, Lore should have been beamed into a sun as well. He should not have been kept around. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, my answer for Final Jeopardy was still better with F if I know. That was a good answer. I did see that. Random Menace says, Captain Phantom Nerd, There's an ongoing argument between Professor and myself, and Bird likes to poke in it like a big pile. Yitzis is the random menace, no ice cream in the world, that wants a twice divorced, broke, problem-ridden, unemployed artist with trust issues. Guess I'll stick to the cardboard cookie. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey 5. The Jep Nerdy games were fair to all, and based upon solely your gameplay, you only deserve to win one game that you did win. Nitpicking Nerds says Starfleet ship's interior are even darker now than the inside of the Borg cubes were in TNG. They've got to save on the lights. It's very expensive to use that power. They've got to save that dilithium. Scythelus says, hello again, friends. Hope everyone is going well. I hope you are, Scythelus. Is this the Nitpicking Nerd? I also dig your vids, man. Nice to see you, Scythelus. It is that Nitpicking Nerd, and we are blessed to have him here. And I also dig his videos. He is a very well-known YouTuber in this community. Ron Marr says, Kapla. He says, hey, Bird, I'm still apprehensive about Picard Season 3, but I suppose I'll at least check out one episode, given how much RMB keeps shouting its praises. I'm waiting for Dave Cullen's preview review. Ron Marr, I have no doubt, I have little doubt, that episode 1 is going to be a good episode. Because to be honest, season 1, episode 1, I rated it like a 9 out of 10. Season 2, episode 1, I think I gave it like an 8.5 out of 10. They were good episodes. They had promise. They know how to do the first episodes well. It's the episodes after. Like, honestly, season 1, episodes 1, 2, and 3, I thought were pretty good. Season 2, episodes 1, 2, and 3, again, I thought were pretty good. It's really when you come mid-season and end of season that you really have the problem. I mean, the first couple of episodes of the first season, yeah, they were pretty good. You're getting some idea on what was going on. I was a little annoyed that they hadn't left Earth. But then once they did leave Earth, oh my God, all the problems began. And then by the end of the season, you literally have a magic wand that if you just think it can fix anything. You just have to think it and it does it. It doesn't even fix, it does anything you want. At first it was to repair the ship, but then you could also use it to just project ships. How does it project ships outside of the ship that it's in? Magic. It's magic. Like literal magic. I mean, that's the type of problem. That's not Star Trek. But yeah, I mean, Robert Meyer Burnett, obviously, he's a big name in the community. And let's face it, I was going to watch Picard Season 3 either way. Either way. I've told you guys that, and I know there's people like Doomcock who say watching it at all is just giving them money. I'm not concerned about that. Trust me. I will. I'll find a way to make us even. That's not my concern. My concern is, and I've told everybody this, is that because they put the Star Trek name on it, I'm just somebody who has to watch it. I have to do it. Yeah, if they put the Star Trek name on it, I'm going to watch it. And I'll tell people honestly what I feel. If you guys want to watch it, more power to you. If you don't, even better. You know, if it sucks. If it's good, then by all means, I will support and beg people to watch it if it's good. If it's the same as it's been, I just prefer you not watch it, but I'm not going to tell you not to do something that I myself am doing. That's just hypocritical. Gorilla's Random Thoughts is in my defense. The kid moved the bottle and it was in the shampoo spot. It's okay, Gorilla. As long as your hair is fresh and soft like a kitten's, like a kitty, like Spot, and Data would come over and he'd pet your beard, then it's all good. Syphilis hasn't watched a single episode of Strange New Worlds. He's already got cancer, and that's bad enough. Yeah, I hear you, Syphilis. I wouldn't watch it anytime soon, but that's up to you. Random Man says it might cure you. Yeah, but it might make it worse. And John DeMarco says, yeah, like it cured that kid they put in the death machine. And like, I want to joke and say that didn't happen, but that exactly totally happened. Also, a doctor, spoiler alert, a doctor, I won't say which one, a doctor gives away their child to an alien on the off chance that the alien is telling the truth, and they say that they can cure his young daughter. But for all he knows, he's selling the kid into sex slaverism. How do you know? He's just an alien. You know nothing about this alien species. Sure, maybe you found the one alien species that's honest and true, and not, the fucking Orion Syndicate. But yeah, take my young daughter and tell me I'm never going to see her again. And yeah, take her. Goodbye. Hopefully you get cured, honey, and not sold off to the highest bidder. Some third wife of a sick, twisted Ferengi. Dr. Alex's Kapla Bird, how are things? Oh, Dr. Alex. Dr. Alex, it's such a loaded question. It's been a tough week. It's been a tough week. Friends, close friends. Friends that if I was a race of shapeshifters, and all of my life, from my YouTube to everything else I do and communicate with, was the Alpha Quadrant, these friends would be Odo. Lost a dear family member, and it was a very, very sad, and I am so, this is the time I'm mad at myself that I am physically unable to be there for them like I want to be. Physically unable to do anything for them besides listen, which listen is something, but I wish it could be so much more. It's like, what's the point? And so what's the point kind of week. I don't know what the point of this all is. But we move on, we go on. And like, okay, well, you get up another day, and then you get some other sad news, not as sad, but still sad news. Like, we have a good friend of the channel who lost a beloved pet yesterday, and I'm very sad about that too. And it just, and then you go, oh, and there's Star Trek Picard coming. Like, I'm sure there's something to look forward to, but I just don't know what it is yet. I don't know what it is yet. Grubworms, yes, Grandma, grubworms. They're also called maggots. Maggots. I call them maggots. Yes, mealworms, maggots, Mr. Londell. Thank you. The bowl of maggots that Riker ate from. And he was like, oh, he wasn't really an alien, which means he really ate the maggots as a human being. You see, why didn't those aliens take over the Klingons? Nobody would even notice they were eating shitty food. Because that would, oh, Klingons probably eat living maggots? Sure. They're living worms. That's Gok. It's basically a form of Gok. If they've taken over the Klingons, maybe they would have won. The problem was they took over humans, and it's on humans eat a bowl of maggots. You're like, something's wrong with those humans. If Klingons were eating a bowl of maggots, you would just think, oh, the Klingons are eating again. The Random Menace says Amanda Plummer does not seem to be more cartoonish than Khan or Chang. I kind of disagree, Random Menace, because we don't know what the F is she doing. Who is she? What, like, the honest truth as to who the big bad guy is for Picard season 3, the conspiracy aliens is one thought, and I'm sure I'm the only one who thinks this, but considering Dr. Crusher seems to be the main person involved, I kind of wonder, could it possibly be? And I know it isn't. I know it isn't. Oh, not a librarian. Not a librarian donated $1.49 and got the happy baby super chat and says, I am a member of the Jep Nerdy team, and yes, we rigged it against you and Cinnabon. Oh my God, it's proof. We've got the proof now. It was rigged against both me and Cinnabon. Thank you, not a librarian. Anyway, to the big bad, I know it's not possibly true, but the only logical explanation for the big bad who would be interested in Dr. Crusher and Captain Picard is the race of the Candle aliens that tried to marry Dr. Crusher. Okay? The Candle alien that lived in the Candle and fed off of the Crusher women for generations, even though Crusher's last name would change through the generations. But whatever, fed off of them. You know, they killed an alien. They killed an alien who had a right to exist. As far as I can tell, he had a right to exist like any other one. Just because he had to feed off of the, what is it, the sexual energy of women, I guess, or just a corporeal being to keep his his existence. I mean, and Picard killed him, basically. Between Beverly and Picard, they killed him. So maybe his race is out for revenge. I don't know. But that would make the most sense to me. As to the reason, I mean, there's really no other reason. The Romulans, those have all been used. The Borg have been used. So it's not the Ferengi. So who the hell else is it? I think it's the candle aliens. Yes, I meant maggots. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. John DeMarco says justice for the Countess Regina. The Countess Regina. Professor Brainy Specs is breaking news. Bird of Prey advocates killing a sentient hologram. News at 11. I do, Professor. The hologram was made to be evil. He was made to be a bad guy. Okay, I'm not going to shed one bloody tear for killing a hologram. And that hologram took an entire ship hostage. Okay, think of all the children that he would have killed. Captain Fandom Nerds says Bird of Prey 5 was cheated. Absolutely. And Professor Brainy's back says hashtag Captain Fandom Nerd is brainwashed by Bird of Prey 5. Sorry, Professor, that hashtag is too big. Miss Londell's Groovy Movie says, I think they've co-opted RMB. He's a pot person. He could be. Yitza Lemon says Stewart's old man Picard acting and a couple of clearly bad jokes, plus the length of the trailer, already tells me enough. Yeah, I mean, when he asked Riker, what does he say? Like the good old days or something, talking about crashing the we're not going to be crashing ships. Picard wasn't even there for the crash of the Enterprise D. And for the crash of the Enterprise E, that was the day Data died. Why would he be making a joke about that? And that was not, we all know the Picard that we saw on TV, the Picard of TNG, and the Picard of the TNG movies was two different characters, right? One was an action star, the other was a thinker. And the TNG was the diplomat, the thinker. The movie Picard was the action hero. And the Picard of Star Trek Picard is back to the action hero instead of the diplomat. So, for me, the best ending, the truest ending to The Next Generation was All Good Things, because that was the Picard we had come to love over the 7 seasons. All Good Things was the series finale of TNG, and for me, that probably should have been the end to the Picard and the entire series. Now, granted, they went on to make movies because movies made money, and I'm going to be honest, Generations pretty much sucked. But First Contact, I still enjoy First Contact. I still rewatch First Contact. It was a good movie, but it wasn't the Star Trek Picard of the TV show. And then there was Insurrection. Okay. Honestly, Insurrection was fine. It wasn't a terrible movie. And Nemesis was a pretty decent movie, too. But again, these were action Picards, fighting enemies hand to hand. Not the guy who thinks his way out of the box, not the guy who gets the whole team around the table to figure out how we're going to get out of this. No, this is just, shoot a phaser, shoot a Tommy gun, get angry and smash everything off the shelf and hope for the best. That's the Picard. And that's not the Picard we saw for seven years. Ron Mars says, I wiped the magic wand from my memory. Yeah, well, it's still there, though. LDG asks if it's buffering for anyone else. And Ron Mars says, I'm getting Picard PTSD again. Professor says, no buffering. Kyle Cullen says, live long and prosper. And even though I'm not on camera, Kyle, I promise you I am actually doing the live long and prosper sign to, I don't know why. I don't know why. It just feels like something I should do. Dr. Alex seems to up to speed for him. The Random Menace says Doomcock will watch it too. I think he will. I think he'll. I don't think he's going to say that he isn't, but we'll see. Professor Brainy Specs says Project Prometheus must be malfunctioning. Nitpicking Nerds, it seems Rafi turned into a junkie again, inhaling some new drug through her eyeballs. Oh my God. And Seven, is she a captain or a first officer? And just after years of not being allowed in Starfleet, at the end of season 2 of Picard, she was immediately given a battlefield commission as a captain, and now she's at least a captain or a first officer. It just, fine, she's allowed in Starfleet, but you don't go from not being in Starfleet to here's a spaceship. Here's a starship. There are people who've been waiting years to get their own command. And she just steps in and here's a starship. Nitpicking, Ron Mars says, is SNG, I assume you mean Strange New Worlds, any good? Yeah, SNW. Is Strange New Worlds any good? I was put off by the cutesy Spock dinner date and stopped watching. Ron, obviously, there's differing opinions. I am of the opinion that it is not good. Some people are of the opinion that it is good. I will tell you this, it looks good. The Enterprise is fairly good looking. The other starships are fairly good looking. Nurse Chapel is fairly good looking. The women on the show are fairly good looking. But the episodes, the plots, the writing, not as bad as Star Trek Discovery, but some of it gets pretty close. Some of it, honestly, almost worse, because we're talking about the original series now, and I mean, they make these completely absurd changes to history, to canon. Okay, if you really watch this show and you believe it to be canon, then you have to believe that Spock, Uhura, and whoever else might have been on the Enterprise completely forgot to mention to Khan in Space Seed or in Star Trek II that, hey, by the way, your ancestor, your great-great-great-great-granddaughter, served on this exact ship. She sat right where Sulu or Chekhov sat now. She was an officer on the bridge of this ship. Spock knew her. Spock was friends with her. Uhura knew her. Uhura was friends with her. They worked together for years. How do you not tell that to the man standing before you? Like, hey, so Nulian Sung, where Khan Noonien Sing. Where does that sound familiar? Oh, that's right. Are you related to so and so? He's like, well, I don't know. You're right, but so and so's related to you, and she worked on this ship. Oh, small world. Aha. No. Fuck. Just never doesn't come up. Why make her name that? She could have been anybody. Oh, but she's definitely related. She is definitely related. It's not a coincidence. Yes, there's a death machine, Syphilis. The machine powers a planet, but it requires a child. It requires a child. It kills the child to power a planet. Professor says, yes, it happened on the show. Incredible. That really made the plot really made no sense. John DeMarco says, they were also xenomorphs that referred to the Gorn for some reason. Oh, the Gorn. The Gorn are all over the place. The Gorn, which had never been seen before, except by Captain Kirk, who saw him for the first time. Well, the Gorn are the big bads. Everybody's afraid of the Gorn. They know what the Gorn look like. They know where the Gorn come from. It's all ridiculous. Dr. Alex is sorry to hear this. It must be frustrating. It is, Dr. Alex. It is. But, you just kind of, you move on. I don't know. I don't want to sound cold, but what other choice do we have, right? Jedi Bill says it's only Monday. I know, Jedi Bill. Sean Connor says, I took a video of me puking. That would be my trailer reaction. Syphilis says, I'm sorry for your loss. It's not, thank you, Syphilis. It's not my loss. I mean, it's their loss. I just feel bad for them. I mean, they would be, if this was 20 years ago, I'd be there spending the week helping them make plans, driving them wherever they need to go, doing whatever needed to be done. But it's not. Mike Richards' meaning is a sweater that you knit yourself. Hakeem says, that's rough, Bird. Again, it's not, I'm not the one having the bad week. Unfortunately, it's my good friends that are having the bad week. Thank you, Professor. Syphilis says, and then Star Trek Picard threatens us all with their shitty third season. Thank you, John DeMarco. Hope the week turns out better. Ms. Lindell says, I think she's a jilted lover from a Picard past. She's got a whole lot of baby mama drama to pile on Jean-Luc. I doubt. She doesn't look like Jean-Luc's type. Professor Brainy Specs says, gee, I wonder who this not a librarian is that's sending the so-called proof. And 47 Yorktown puts in the candle emoji. That's who it is. That's who it is. That's the big bad. John DeMarco says a sequel to Sub Rosa would probably be better than what we'll actually get. That's what I'm hoping for. So this is low. That episode is so stupid. Yitz11 says R&B mentioned that it will tackle one of the stupid plots from Generations, but it's not Kirk because he didn't like making that joke. And 205 donated $2.49. Thank you, 205, and says women on Strange New Worlds are, quote, fairly good looking. Fairly, what are your beauty standards? T'Pring and Chapel are stunning and almost as beautiful as my wife. Chapel is hot, but could have a little more meat on her. I forgot about T'Pring because she's not human. And Rebecca Romaine is quite beautiful. The other one, the woman who's actually probably my favorite character, but my favorite new character, but the least attractive. I forget her name. I unfortunately forget her name, but not Khan's descendant, the other one. She doesn't, you know what? 205, I'm in no position. I am in no position to make those sorts of judgments because let's face it, any of the women on Strange New Worlds at this point would be okay with me. Even the one with the short hair, which is not my type, but at this point, whatever. Miss Lundell says the candle alien is dead. Jean-Luc killed it over that red-headed doctor. Yeah, but there's got to be more of his kind. And once they heard about it, they could be angry. Nitpicking Nerd says the candle alien might be a rogue prophet, Pa-Wraith from the wormhole. His appearance was very similar to a certain Bajoran politician. Ah, very interesting. And there is going to be a DS9. We know there's going to be a DS9 connection in season 3. Nitpicking Nerds, they also needed either artifacts or organic hosts to survive outside the wormhole. Oh, this is making it all the more plausible. Sizzler says, can you imagine what's happening in the school on the Enterprise during first contact? Oh my God. The Random Menace says the lamp dildo tried to kill first Geordi and Data before Beverly shot him. And their family name was Howard. Oh, the Howard women. Right, okay, the Howard women. But then again, each generation it wouldn't be Howard. That's unfortunately the way women's last names work in human culture. They change, generally. Stanley says they even tried to have Patrick Stewart show off his guns in the movies. Stanley says nothing wild and the sky's the limit. Yeah. The final line. We should have gotten more of Picard playing poker. The movie should have started with Picard winning the poker game or something. Johnny DeMarco says it's well established that First Contact is an excellent movie. This is true. Stanley's First Contact is a fun Star Trek influenced action movie. And Nemesis had Tom effing Hardy, for Christ's sake. LDG says, sorry, it was me. No buffering. Okay. The Traveler, formerly known as Wesley Crusher, says, greetings, everyone. Greetings, Wesley Traveler. Applause. Apparently, I went on a bird rant that I forgot. Ms. Londell says, they're just blowing up smoke of people's butts when they do dumb stuff like put Khan's grandkid on the Enterprise. Sizzler says, I'm sorry there was a loss, but don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I just meaning that people don't need to feel bad for me. People certainly don't need to feel bad for me. I mean, you can feel bad for me for lots of things, but not for the what I just talked about. Resolute Germ says, hi all, Kapla Resolute. John DeMarco says, good-looking actresses don't fix terrible writing. They don't, but they make it easier to watch. What's a woman? Oh, that's a woman, says Syphilis. Technically, yes. Technically, yes. Professor Brainy Specs says, knowing how badly the Candle Alien episode was received, they won't make the follow-up. Well, that's what I'm saying. I know they didn't, but that would be the only thing that would make sense. Random Man says, we got Picard playing poker literally in the first scene of Picard. No, he was playing poker in a dream against Data. Okay, one person. And I don't even think it was technically poker. Okay. Yeah, I guess they did do a poker hand, but poker is not a game that you play between two people. Yeah. Donnie Pearson says, hello, Bird and all. Hope everyone's weekend was well. Despite the passing of Star Trek Picard's Borg Queen herself, Annie Werschling. I did my latest DeviantArt upload in her remembrance. Yes, Annie, if I'm saying the last name incorrectly, apologies. Annie Werschling passed. She was 45. She actually started her career on Star Trek Enterprise. It was her first, I believe her first role, her first televised role was an Alien of the Week on Enterprise. And, or I don't even know if she was an alien or not, but she was on Enterprise. And then, I don't think it was her last role, but one of her last roles was the Borg Queen in season 2 of Picard. We'll just leave it at that, because I'm sure she had a great career, but I don't believe Picard season 2 is going to age well. Stanley, has there been any rumors that Avery Brooks is attached to the new Picard series? There have been zero rumors, Stanley. And further, being what we know about Avery Brooks, I don't see there's any chance in hell. I don't say there's any chance in hell Avery Brooks has of being in Picard season 3. Sirach Lofton still is a good friend of Avery Brooks. He talks about Avery Brooks in his podcast. He talks about Avery Brooks and other things. And basically, the problem that Avery Brooks has is that he feels that he should be treated equally as Patrick Stewart. He should be paid the same and whatnot. And I just don't see him accepting a role as a, you know, as an extra or a cameo appearance in a Patrick Stewart centered show. If they were doing Star Trek Cisco and they were willing to pay Avery Brooks the same amount they're paying Patrick Stewart, then yeah, according to Sirach Lofton, Avery Brooks would probably be okay with that, assuming, you know, he also agreed to the storyline and whatnot. Patrick Stewart had tremendous input over the story of Picard. So if they were willing to make the same deal with the same numbers for Avery Brooks, then yeah, we might get Avery Brooks. But I think the thought out there is that Avery Brooks does not command the audience that Patrick Stewart did. And I don't think they would be willing to pay him as much. And so I don't think we will ever see Avery Brooks, you know, live in another Trek production. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you put it or think of it, the character of Captain Sisko is owned by Paramount, and they do not need Avery Brooks's permission to bring back Captain Sisko in an animated form. So if we were to ever see Captain Sisko again, my guess it would be in an animated Trek, whether it be Prodigy or Lower Decks or some new future animated Trek. That would be, and they would have a different voice, because I don't think Avery Brooks would bother voicing the character for the dollars that they would pay him. So, yeah, I wouldn't. Don't expect to see Avery Brooks. If they did get Avery Brooks, that would be tremendous. But that would be like saying, you know, that Joe Biden is starring in it too. They're not getting Joe Biden. It would be like Joe Biden and Donald Trump both come out as members of the Binars. Yeah, there's about that's as big a chance of that happening as Avery Brooks coming back. Professor says it was a dream, just like Star Trek V, says John DeMarco. Ron Mars says, John DeMarco, it makes hate watching easier, though. Yes, the attractive women make it easier. And Donnie Pearson's second half of his question, or statement, says, even though I don't judge those who hate all the current Star Trek shows, including Picard and my #1 prodigy, I do send my condolences to the Warshing family and the Star Trek family. Absolutely. Absolutely. Those are actors. They are not responsible per se for the stories that they write, that they act. They have to have a job too. Especially new actors like her. Older actors like Patrick Stewart, they get a little more blame in my book, because they're allowing their characters to be used, or in his case, he's the one behind this, which is all the more perplexing. The Traveler says, Bird of Prey, I gotta drive. I just wanted to say that they should have made Riker the action man in the movies. I think they had hoped that to be, but Patrick Stewart wants to be, if Patrick Stewart gets what Patrick Stewart wants. And Random Menace says, hello there to Donnie Pearson, and it's a long time no see. Random Menace says, Wordle time. Yes, I do have to do Wordle. We'll get to Wordle in a few minutes. Dandelion Down says, Data had 5 Queens of Hearts in that scene. Yes, he did. Miss Lundell says, the fake Jean-Luc still playing hide the bratwurst with his Romulan maid. No, the Romulan maid, unfortunately, isn't coming back. The Romulan maid is not coming back for next season. So, Sean Carter says, what a shame. Only 45 with 3 kids. So sad. Definitely. The Random Menace says, Miss Lundell, nope. They said their goodbye right in the place where Picard's mother cosplayed as a chandelier. Oh my God. You have such a way of putting things, Random Menace. Resolute Germs says, at this point he should be treated better than Stewart. Oh, Avery Brooks, he would be by me. Yeah, Avery has too big an ego, says Stanley. Lol. Stanley says, Brooks is jazz. John DeMarco says, Avery is the smart one for not reprising his role in New Track. Miss Lundell says, Avery Brooks is persona non grata with the present track regime. There were those who disliked him being even thought about for the role of Cisco. Stanley says they could always do the eternal light of his essence. The Random Menace says we need a reboot of DS9 under Kurtzman. I would subscribe to Doomcock for the reviews. Don't even joke, Random Menace. Yeah, Ms. Lundell says leave DS9 alone. Donnie says hello to Random. How was your weekend? Donnie Pearson says, I must be honest. Even I thought Picard is an okay current Star Trek show for me. I thought its final season, final trailer was decent enough for me overall. Yes, I love the Enterprise F in it. The ships look great. The ships look great. I will give them that. The ships look great. Stanley says the character ruined the concept of the Borg, but the actress was good. John DeMarco says, Donnie, it was fine. Thanks. How about you? Ron Mars says, I didn't watch Picard season 2, but I did enjoy Annie Wershing on 24. She was terrific. Yes, that's true. She'll be remembered on 24 more so than Picard, luckily. The Random Menace says, Donnie Pearson's Prodigy is my favorite new Trek series. 2. It has so much heart, and the music is just superb. Sizzler says, I never heard Mr. Lundell. Where can I get more info on that? I'll have to ask Mr. Lundell. John DeMarco said, the Romulan maid not returning makes season 2 even more pointless. Sean Carter says, I almost got Wordle in 2 today. Nice. Random Menace got mine in 2. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so let's go over and let's do Wordle. Let's do Wordle. There's the Picard trailer. We'll do Wordle first. We'll go with train. Okay, we got R and A in the right spot, but that's it. Crazy. I don't know. I don't know why I think crazy, but it's probably a waste of letters. Okay, yeah, but we got the C. We got the C. C-R-A. Craps. I don't think they're doing S's at the end. Cramp. 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 It's a word. Nope. No P. Cr. Cr. Oh, there could be a letter reused. Crack. Like, I know it's not crack, but god damn it. It's not looking good, people. It is not looking good. I think unfortunately, I got some bad letters to start. Okay. Craw. Craws. Crads. Crags. Crawls. Crawl. 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 Ah, god damn it. Oh no. Croak. Crowed. Crone. No, crobe. No, we used N already. Crouse. Crows. Nope. Crowed. No. Croaf. No. It's not a word. Crogue. Crow. 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 Cry. Crabs. I know it's not crabs. There is no way Wordle is crabs. But I've got to do it now. Crave. God damn it. God damn it. Ah, this is the first time in a while I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Crave. I should have. Really didn't have much choice. I mean, you know, you got to take chances. There's no reason it wasn't crawl or cramp or crazy. Those are all certainly valid words. Granted, crabs was. I knew it wasn't going to be crabs, but whatever. Okay, so it bested me today. It bested me today. Professor agrees. Prodigy is superb entry for Star Trek. Miss Lundell did Wordle in 3. Awesome. Awesome. LDG didn't get it. He had 4 greens on turn 3. Yet says as if LDG didn't get it, that it must be crabs. No craving for bird. Apparently not. Apparently not. LDG says just finished the V series. Donnie says mine was fine. Thank you, John. A few weeks since I've updated my profile pic in celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Power Rangers. Okay, so this is the Picard trailer. I mean, we've already pretty much spoke about it. So, I mean, we got 7 of 9. I'm trying to see. I guess she appears to be a first officer, captain, Riker, and admiral walking down the hallway. Yeah, look how dark. Look how dark that ship is. That's not a Starfleet ship. That's just not a star. Why would it be? Oh my God. Who would go to work like that? Look how dark it is there. Like, what is this? Is this an intimate dinner? I mean, is he trying to get laid? Like, where are the candles? This is stupid. Where are all the lights? There it is. They're in space, apparently. The only lights are when you blow something up. So he was making cracks about how, oh, we're not going to be shooting anybody and we're not going to be crashing ships. Right, because that's exactly what you say. You're like, oh, well, it's going to be a very easy mission. We're certainly not going to have to shoot anybody, and we're certainly not going to have our starship blow up. Right, because jinxing yourself isn't a thing in the 24th or 25th century, apparently. Human beings have all superstition has ended. Crash landing. That's not a landing. That's just a ship that crashed into another ship in space for some reason. And they're acting like there's gravity. A Paramount Plus original. There's something coming. Oh, there it is. There's the Enterprise F. The Enterprise F. Honestly, I don't know why we needed the Enterprise F. I was still getting used to the E. I think apparently there's some reason the E got destroyed, but I would have liked to see the Enterprise E still. Anyway, we got a bunch of ships here. Fine, whatever. Starfleet could be the target. You don't say. What the hell? And we got Deanna Troi. There's a darkness coming. All-consuming darkness. And what Rafi is doing something. I don't know if somebody suggested she was taking a drug. I think she's trying to, I don't know, copy her retina, not copy, but like imprint a new retinal signature or something, so she can use a computer that she's not supposed to use. Probably some Romulan technology. Trust no one, says Dr. Crusher. Again, why encrypted coordinates? It tells you that there's encrypted coordinates. Is Picard like saying, I can't believe I used to have a thing for that woman. Why do all the ships look like the Scimitar? Sean Carter with a $2 for chat. Thank you so much, Sean Carter. There are no lights. Yes. Well, this is the enemy ship, but even this ship is pitch black compared to like Chang's ship in Star Trek 6. I mean, this Look, this is the Federation ship. This should be well lit. Unless they're on emergency power, but I don't think they are. Are they on batteries? We will have vengeance. We will have vengeance. We,
Who's been holding up the damn elevator?
We, the candle people, will have vengeance. And thank you again, Sean. Just came across. Oh, what was that? What did that say? Let's go back. Frame by what the fuck mask is this? The bird people? I promise you, these are not mine. Oh, airlock. The airlock is unlocked. So the people are coming in right from the airlock. And they're wearing bird masks. What in the hell is this? I mean, and why are they taking Amanda Plummer orders from her? Like, is this like Stargate? Are these Jaffa? Are these 25% different Jaffa? Is she Ra? Maybe. Maybe she's got a worm in her. And what is this? The ship just has a landing spot? Or is that La Serena? No, maybe that's not I don't know. I thought that was the La Serena being towed. I'm not sure at this point. You know, she don't look that bad. She don't look that bad with the lights turned down. Maybe that's why the lights are low. Professor Brainy Specs says, trust no one when Star Trek crosses streams with the X-Files. Random Man says, cinematography nowadays is really dark. I don't understand it, too. Yeah. We all got HD TVs, and what'd they do? They made everything dark. Ms. Londell says she looks like a dude. I don't know about what dude she looks like, Miss Londell. She, anyway. John DeMarco says, revenge is a dish best served, poorly lit. Yid says, I wonder if she got PTSD from looking at the color red all the time. Oh wow, there was a fraction of a second it was lit. There was a fraction of a second it was well lit because a flash went off. Let's see if we can get it. There it, oh. Yeah, it's, you see, this is why it's dark. This is why it's dark. And Geordi comes up on screen and you can just tell he's pissed. He's angry. He doesn't even want to be. That's not the Geordi I remember. Okay, the Geordi I remember was the Geordi from All Good Things, who when Picard came to him, he's like, you want to go see Data? Let's go see Data. That's what we're going to do. This Geordi is like, why the fuck are you bothering me, old man? I'm busy now. I finally got married. Cinnabon Bunny is in the chat, says, spiky ships are scary, and Jean's vision, you hate her. This is the end, my friend. Why would Riker say that? The final voyage begins. Okay, so we got Space Dock. So I'm thinking Geordi is the head of Space Dock, which is fine. But look how pissed. He looks angry like Worf looked in all good things. Like, why are you bothering me with this shit? Jordy, why does Dr. Crusher have a phaser rifle? Of all the people who would need a phaser rifle, Dr. Crusher, do they not know that she's a doctor? Pathetic old warrior, Dr. Moriarty. He's such a tease. Worf completely screwed up. He shouldn't look like this. I hate hearing Worf's voice saying I too was once irrational, because it makes it sound like what he said in the previous trailer about now being a pacifist. I thought it was a joke. And I thought, ha ha, they're keeping Worf funny like they did in DS9. And now I'm starting to worry that that wasn't a joke. And then it becomes not funny. It becomes quite sad. Quite so very sad. He was violent. Okay, that again, that was a good picture of a ship. That's the Titan, right? Yeah. That's the Titan. The Titan A, again, stupidity. I mean, in the Trek universe, the Titan shouldn't have an A, but whatever. Who the hell are you? Is anybody you know the person you remember? No, apparently not. But that doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it okay because you point it out. This is life or death. And Jordy's like, it's always life or death. And you kind of true. It's like every election is the most important election of your lifetime. I don't think Jordy would call him Jean-Luc. If you're going to reveal the bad to be Amanda Plummer, you got to tell us who she represents. We're going to have a lot of explosions. Force fields. Who is that? Was that her granddaughter? That's right. Rafi had a kid. Rafi had a grandkid. And then her son said she didn't want to talk to him anymore. And then we have Lore wearing a uniform very reminiscent of a TNG uniform. Now, obviously, Lore is not in Starfleet, but we've got to give Brent Spiner a job. So let's bring back Lore for reasons. We got Lore. We've got Professor Moriarty. I'm pretty sure that we're going to see Denise Crosby as Tasha Yar. I think that's somebody they're holding back. I'd bet $20 on it. I would say she's going to show up somehow, either as Tasha Yar or the Romulan or somewhere. But I'd bet $20 that Denise Crosby shows up this season. And Dr. Crusher is in some sort of stasis tube. I think this is probably a dream sequence, but I'm not sure. Human nature, yeah. We need Lore here for that. Well, it looks like there's going to be another death counter for the season. Picard says, we fight or we die. Right? That's a very Picard thing to say. Gun it. Gun it. If you couldn't, we fight or we die and gun it. Those are, it hurts. It hurts seeing the character of Picard written in this way. He needs all of them. And they're with him. Always. There, he finally got to say engage. He finally got to say engage. Picard final season, February 16th. Even though there's already been stories about how if this season does well, maybe they can do more Picard. Maybe they can do more Picard. The Random Menace says, it is so dark that we do not think about the fact we're watching a retirement home in space. Cinnabon Bunny says, LaForge is mad his daughter got paid more to be on the show. I guess he should have got boobs. Is someone pretending to be William Riker? Asked Dan Ben. Mark Krause says, Bird of Prey, sometimes a shot in the head is the best medicine. It cures everything. Yitza says, so much footage in this trailer, and it's not even exciting. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey in the alternate future, and all good things. Picard does tell Geordi to call him Jean-Luc. Yeah, but that's after they're friends. Okay, that's not after he shows up on screen and is like, why are you bothering me, old man? Donnie Pearson says, I've seen a vid called 15 centimeter, my modern Constitution class, 3D printed Star Trek model. And Donnie says, I was like, this is what a Constitution 3 class starship like the Titan A should have looked like in the final season of Star Trek Picard. Ms. Lindell says, RMB likes this dribble. Apparently. Anyway. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. People, you know, I don't know what the downvote is because I don't have that ad on. Don't really care. But it's got 795 comments, and the majority of them seem to be positive or neutral. There's very few negatives. Maybe it's because the people who just hate it realize there's no point in posting. I don't know. But maybe it's maybe most people do enjoy it. I don't know either. This guy, Vote Monty, misses the sheer elegance of the Enterprise D. The Stunners is taking a moment to rest in peace the Borg Queen, Annie Werschling. Algry, 1984, says this looks like what season 2 should have been. Sure. Maybe we can finally get a DS9 send off. No, hopefully not. Psy-whore. That's their name, not mine. It's a shame the characters from that show have been ignored, while TNG and Voyager get all the attention. Peter Djwatsky says, I'm wondering if they'll use the Voyager Doctor hologram tech to allow Moriarty to be in the real world. They can just use the Picard tech, the Picard fake body and android tech to give Moriarty a real body. Baz What Up says, crazy theory. What if the big bad is the bluegill And we finally get closure to the plot in Conspiracy. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. It's a phone call. Anyway, people love seeing the Odyssey class. If they forced me to get emotionally attached to the little Australian elf boy just to not put him in the last season, I will riot. Well, Marlena, I do not believe whatever his name is, the Romulan sword guy. I don't believe he is in the third season. So I guess you'll be rioting. And Tukey Bird says this makes me want more Orville. Anyway, let's do some Dear Bops, and we will call it Chris, because I need to eat. Dear Bop. Oh, let's switch to the Dear Bop window. What's with the nope responses and skipping Dear Bops? Well, last week, a lot of the Dear Bops were either, junk, spam, or from the so-called person I know as Soft Putty, who all he does is insult Rock Solid. So if I see a post from Soft Putty, or if I see a post that's clearly spam, I will just ignore it. And if it's a quote-unquote low quality Dear Bop, frankly, where there's no question, somebody just writes like the word the 12 times, I will just skip those two. There's no point to me wasting time on crappy Dear Bops. So if your Dear Bop gets shown, but I skip over it, sorry, but not sorry. Okay? I mean, if you want to write a Dear Bop, ask a question or do a statement, but don't insult other people, and don't just write something to write something. Dear Bop, you are not far, you are not, excuse me, Dear Bop, you not that far from watching Enterprise episode Oasis. The actress Annie Werschling, who played Liana, just passed away. Rest in peace. And yes, we are familiar with the fact that's who she played in Enterprise. So we will see Oasis in the not too distant future. And there's a link to her passing. Saddened to learn the passing of actress Annie Wersching, who played the Borg Queen on the second season of Star Trek Picard. Wersching passed away on January 29th at the age of 45. She began her Hollywood career with an appearance on Star Trek Enterprise, and most recently left an indelible mark on her portrayal of the formidable Borg Queen. Yeah, no, that's one interpretation of the event. But definitely rest in peace. Dear Bob, don't you think you should be more progressive and play kissing dads sometimes instead of the same old kissing dads? Let's vote on it. # free the net. No, I don't. If you want to play Kissing Dads, then you go ahead and do that. Dear Bob, if you watch Picard, you are a traitor to the Phantom Menace, and we will kick you off YouTube. Nobody actually says that, though, except people angry at the Phantom Menace. Dear Bob, hello. My name is Frank Gallagher. I have a proposition for you. We can make millions. All I need from you is $50K. I live in Chicago, and if you want to be my partner, just say yes. I am at the Alibi Room tonight, getting high and drunk. I will watch your stream and email with my address to send the $50K. Not interested. Dear Bob, you asked us to write something of substance, so here it is. Something of substance. And with that, guys, that will call it a stream. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for hanging out and watching. I appreciate it. This week, we've got Wednesday, we've got Enterprise. Friday, we've got Dear Bop again. And Sunday will be the final episodes of season 2 of The Twilight Zone, 1985. Yeah. So, all right. And we got one more Dear Bop. I will read it. And it says, Dear Bop, Memory Alpha, a medical shotgun. What? Yeah, it is a link to a medical shotgun. A medical shotgun was a Starfleet device used to administer drugs to recalcitrant patients from a distance. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is why Lower Decks isn't canon. If Lower Decks is not canon. Let's put it this way. A medical shotgun isn't canon. I'm sorry. I like Lower Decks, but that's just bullshit. Anyway. Kapla all bird and panel out.
Hey, this is for Bird of Prey 5 from Michael J. Crawford, the anti-trekker.
Kif, come here and hold up the flag. And wave it a little, for God's sakes.
The God, Emperor, Dictator of a country called Karoga. The Karogan Surgeon General, which would be me, Dr. Zoidberg. Hail,
there was
Karoga.
No panel, I guess.
I'm going to keep you healthy. I will feed you tons of cake. If there's any left after I'm here.
And also, I've been home.